So in topic 2, we are going to learn about working as a team, managing cross-functional relations. So if you think about how you work in a team and how do you work with other teams, how does your team work with other teams? Well, have you ever stopped to think about that? I would say the odds are that you have not. But let's dive into purchasing and working with other teams because how we work with them can cause value add contributions and also some potential conflicts. So let's dive into it. So operations. Well, operations is essentially how things get done. So sometimes that's a separate department. Sometimes that's talked about as manufacturing as operations. But in general, we have a lot of contributions here. So purchasing contributes to operations by finding lower cost suppliers with reasonable prices and higher quality standards. And purchasing can also contribute to lean initiatives by finding higher quality suppliers capable of rapid, small just-in-time deliveries. You'll get more deliveries, but you'll get smaller quantities, which makes it a lot easier on your warehouse and inventory. Now, while we do have some conflicts here, so there's a lot of emphasis and sometimes an overemphasis on short-term cost cutting. So sometimes you have to give and take when it comes to quality and delivery trade-offs. Sometimes you have to accept a lower quality and maybe a longer delivery time. So you need to figure out where the threshold is that you accept on this. And there's some switching costs when you're moving between suppliers. You don't know if that's going to be a smooth transition or if it's going to be a tough situation where you're going to have fights over or arguments with your new supplier. Hopefully none of that happens, but it's hard to predict if it will. And of course, the biggest worry is your new supplier failing to meet your needs, such as just-in-time delivery or just-in-sequence delivery. Both of these can cause major headaches for your operations. So if we look at what does operations want? They want smooth execution, no breakdowns, and no delivery failures. They want to avoid unnecessary changes because the changes are disruptive and they cost money. And suppliers who support the operations and they do what they promise. So that's what they want. So if we can find and work with our operations folks to meet all of these and hopefully avoid some of the conflicts, we'll have a great relationship with our operations folks. Research and development, we can contribute to them by finding suppliers for new inputs so that those new inputs could lead to new products. And we can invite suppliers to participate in that new product development process. Because sometimes you need an outside perspective to get the best product designed. So the conflicts that we're going to run into is that research and development and purchasing are not going to agree on cost, quality, and design trade-offs. It just rarely happens because research and development doesn't care about cost. They want the highest quality, and they don't want to give any design trade-offs. Where purchasing wants the best cost and the best quality, and purchasing would probably be willing to trade the design in some way. In research and development, sometimes they'll be doing something called guard banding with their specifications. So they'll say, oh, we need it within a tenth of a millimeter specification tolerance, when they really can accept a quarter of a millimeter tolerance. But they're being overly cautious because they want to make sure that they do get a product that will work and not trust that the supplier can meet the actual standard that they would need. So what does research and development want? They want to create new and exciting products for the company that will please the customer and suppliers who bring new technologies and innovation to the table. That's what research and development wants. So what about sales and marketing? So purchasing contributes because we provide that crucial information such as the pricing, our supplier capabilities, quality issues, and so on. You think sales and marketing would want to know the price of the product, the manufacturing price? Because they probably want to set a price that's going to be for the customer. And they also want to know the supplier capabilities, because are they going to sell it hard where they're going to try to sell 10,000 units a month? Or are they going to have to pull that back and maybe only sell 1,000 a month? That way they don't have any unsatisfied customers because your company can't produce at that speed. So purchasing can help sales and marketing figure this out. So the sales and operations planning helps us do that. So that's where we all come together and we can forecast how much the company will sell, and that will be used to kind of backfill and figure out how our manufacturing process needs to go in order to meet that demand. But we have some potential conflicts here. So marketing may fail to inform purchasing that a product change in a timely manner, leaving purchasing to scramble at the last minute to find the best supplier, or getting an existing supplier to make that change for us. This is unfortunate when it happens, and sometimes it just can't be done. So marketing is promising a product or advertising a product. Sales is promising the product and that it will do all these things that the marketing folks say it will. But when it comes to actually the product, it might not. So that's why everybody needs to be talking together. And that's why the conflicts, we got to avoid this conflict. And purchasing may not inform sales about a supplier change that results in a noticeable product change. So sometimes we forget, because it's so routine to change a supplier, that we may forget to tell sales and marketing. For example, if you were producing a product that was a specific color, well, now the new company that's producing that product may not be producing the same exact color. Might be a shade or two lighter or darker. Well, that could be noticeable for the customer. So sales and marketing need to be aware of that so they can make the customer aware and manage the customer's expectations. So what does sales and marketing actually want? Well, they want operations to go smoothly to support the sales. They want whatever is promised to get delivered in full, on time, with no problems. So whatever they promise, they want it to be actually done, no problems. And suppliers who bring innovations and technologies that customers want to the products they sell. Because sales and marketing, what do they want to do? They want to sell products. So they want to bring that innovative product to the customer. So we have inventory management. So this is almost a in-house department that you work with almost on a daily basis. So we're going to have purchasing can arrange for just-in-time delivery or consignment inventory, reducing carrying cost. For example, the consignment inventory. If you go into a Walmart, Walmart does not own the stock of Pepsi or Coke on the shelves, because Pepsi and Coke stock those shelves. And then when Walmart sells it, that's when Walmart actually pays for that product to Pepsi or Coke. But Walmart tells Pepsi and Coke how much that they can put on those shelves. So that's consignment, where basically it's being put on there for the customer to get, and then it's paid for afterwards. So potential conflicts, well, unfortunately we might buy in bulk, and then our inventory management folks might have to figure out what to do with it. And this is going to inflate inventory costs because we bought so much. It's sitting on a shelf and it's costing us money because it's not doing anything. And purchasing may push just-in-time delivery to reduce those inventory costs. However, if that just-in-time delivery doesn't go right, it could increase disruption. So the product might run out on the shelf, or it might not be the right quality, which is also another problem that might come about. And if you're practicing just in time, well, you don't have time to fix these issues. So those are potential conflicts. So what does inventory management actually want? They don't want any interruptions. They don't want disruptions. Inventory needed for operations must show up at the right quantities at the right time with no quality issues. Period. And they want to avoid holding too much inventory because this has holding costs. It takes up too much space. In short, they want a Goldilocks inventory policy. Just the right amount, not too much, not too little. Hopefully there's no three little bears either. But when we're working with teams, we're working with other departments, such as sales, research and development, inventory management. We need to work with them and figure out what do they want. So that way we can be better at our jobs, because it might be something simple that we can change or maybe modify or educate them on why we do something the way we do. And that could solve all sorts of problems from even arising. So if we can get this cross-functional teamwork working good, then that's one less problem we'll have to worry about. So let's look at the purchasing process next. We'll be going over that, and every company will be slightly different, but they all follow the same path with the purchasing process. So let's go ahead and dive into that in our next video.